So for today's video, we're going to shift subjects from lawnmowers to swimming pools, and what I want to explain is how to check the salt levels. You have two types of pools. You have those that you add chlorine tablets and you have to maintain that, but this pool here is a saltwater type. It uses electrolysis to break down salt into sodium and chlorine. So I'm just going to go ahead and get started. What I'm going to do is first take a sample of the water, making sure to use a clean container. And I have these AquaCheck test strips here, and I'll explain more about that, but I wanted to go ahead and take the sample and get this started because it takes a few minutes to let this work. So I'm just placing the test strip into the container, and we're going to let it do its job. The second thing I have is this particular one is a E-Season Gear electronic salt level meter, testing instrument you can buy, and basically it shows on a display here what the salt level is. It uses these electrodes to pass a little current through the water, and based on Ohm's law and the principle of resistance, it determines what that level is. And what you want, on a saltwater pool, typically you want to be above 3,000 parts per million in terms of your concentration. It can be upwards of about 3,400. I try to keep mine around 3,200. I've got here a bag of salt. This is Clorox brand. It's just like table salt. It's a very granular salt that dissolves quickly, and that's why I prefer this one. You can also get other brands which are more like rock salt. They have larger sizes, but it takes more time for those to dissolve. But going back to the meter, this one's pretty easy. Just switch it on and you put it into the sample, and you can kind of see the display. This one's a little bit off, but it looks like I have 2,951 parts per million. And this test strip is going to kind of confirm that result to make sure it's right. I was expecting it to be low because we received a lot of rain recently, and what happens is when your pool level reaches the overflow, that water goes out and it carries salt with it, so you have to replenish the salt. Evaporation will not get rid of the salt. It's going to remain. So actually, with evaporation in the summer, hot days, salt level will actually increase. But when you have excessive rain like we've had recently, it's going to become more diluted as you add more water to make up for what's gone away. So with that being said, we'll wait just a little bit longer for this to do its job. These are a bit old, so they may or may not work, but basically what you want to do, you're going to be looking for a yellow line here, and when it reaches its equilibrium, you'll compare the number to the list of numbers right here, and that's going to correspond to the concentration of the salt level. So I already know I'm going to need salt, so I'll just show how I do that, and then we'll come back to the salt, or I'm sorry, the test strip. So this one is a 40-pound bag. You can get these at Walmart, and they maybe $6–7 a piece. So what I generally do is on the deep end of the pool, I'll just kind of walk around and I'll start pouring the salt in, just kind of dispersing it around the pool, not all in the same place. And then I've got a pool cleaning robot in there that it moves around, it'll kind of help to stir up the salt, mix it, and help it to dissolve. So more than likely I'll need more than 40 pounds, but for the purpose of this video, I'm just going to show this. So coming back to the test strip, you can see that it's difficult to show on video, but basically it's become lighter in color right here. And I'm just going to look at it. It looks like I'm about at a 6, give or take. So when I compare to that, it's a little bit off. I'd say it's a little more than 6, so we'll call it 6.2, so 2,900 parts per million, which is consistent with this meter. So I think it's accurate, and what I'll do is I'll come back later and add more salt.